Hey, what's up YouTube? I hope you're all doing great. Everyone watching this video, I hope you're all doing great. The sun is bright outside, and in this video I'm going to be talking about the so-called phrase separation of church and state and why it's a fallacy, and those who are for it are only following a flawed pursuit. And yes, I have a new poster up, and yes, I had some intro music to this new video, and yes, I'm kind of growing my beard back. My beard and mustache. But anyway, in this video I want to talk about the so-called separation of church and state. That is not what the First Amendment says. It says the church, the state shall not make a religion or prohibit the free exercise thereof. They were talking about freedom of religion, but basically liberals and atheists and scoffers and skeptics are just trying to pervert that and twist it and distort it and trying to say you can't have Christian things in government. What nonsense. America was founded to be a Christian nation, purposely for people to study the true Word of God in freedom and liberty and peace, to avoid persecution held in Europe by tyrannical Catholic tyrants. All right, a separation of church and state. You can't have Christian leaders in government. Say that to King Solomon or King David or whatever. This is one of the biggest reasons why I believe Alan Key should be elected to the White House, because he will basically show forth to the public himself, if he made an inauguration speech, that doesn't appear anywhere whatsoever. That was talking about freedom of religion, though I do not agree that the gospel of Christ is a religion. But basically they're always trying to say, oh, no gospel of Christ, separation of church and state. It's quite hypocritical that a lot of football teams cannot kneel down for a prayer before starting a football game. But they let people study Islam or stuff like that, other cultures, Buddhism, Hinduism, stuff like that. They let them study that. But as long as you don't bring the gospel of Christ in. What nonsense. I dare say that is part of the the mark of the New Age Antichrist beast. Okay? And by the way, I got in the mail this new DVD by Ken Ham, and this is a copy of the seminar that my mom and I went to in Tokyo last year, and he gave 6 sessions about it, all this stuff. And I plan to share it with my Japanese neighbors, so that sharing it with them, the proper way to get to the gospel of Christ, using the creation message just like Paul did to the pagan Greeks. Moving way back to the subject of separation of church and the state, what happened is Thomas Jefferson wrote a bunch of letters to some Baptist pastors, and he's the one who mentioned the phrase separation of church and state in there. There is no law whatsoever, that phrase does not appear anywhere in the Constitution or in the Declaration of Independence whatsoever. The Founding Fathers, most of the Founding Fathers were Christians, and basically Thomas Jefferson, he wrote that in a letter to a bunch of Baptist pastors. It is not the First Amendment, not in the Constitution, nothing whatsoever. And you folks who are pursuing it, thinking, oh, we gotta separate church and state, you're only following a flawed pursuit. It's false, it's wrong, it's garbage. Just throw it away and start pursuing reality.